All right. I'll get my
And I
watch
expect
off.
people on TikTok to also like it too.
Oh, yeah. TikTok. Yeah, sure. All right. All right. So I'm on, right? This is it. All right. Linda from East Texas. Welcome. Lynn B., glad you're with us. Welcome to our live stream. I'm Dr. David E. Clarke, Clarke with an E. Never forget the E. I fly into a rage. Not really, but there are many more Clarks without the E, and we feel bad for them because they're like incomplete people. Okay, nonetheless, they call me Dr. Narc, and we're glad you're here with us. And those of you that are watching the replay, welcome to you as well. This is a ministry that helps people get away from their narcs. If you're living with a narc, married to a narc, our ministry is getting you the heck away from the narc. We're not going to help you manage and survive and cope and stay. I have no interest in that. You find someone else to do that for you. And there's plenty of Christian therapists that will do that. I'm not one of them. I have no interest in that. Now, it may take a while. All right. You have to be ready. There's a lot of preparation steps. However, but we're going to get you out. I don't care if you're 85 years old. We're going to get you out. Now, before I forget, here at the top of the show here, we got some folks chiming in here. We got TikTok coming in. Very good. Joining. Very good. Cindy Shirley. Now you've got to choose one name for your first name. I'm kidding. I guess Shirley's your last name. Anyway, so yeah. Hello. Probably shouldn't give last names. Anyway, but we're glad you're here with us. If you can do us a favor here by liking this on Facebook and YouTube and TikTok. That would be very helpful to us. It helps us gather more people and have more of an impact. And if you haven't subscribed yet to my Facebook and YouTube and TikTok, then I recommend you doing that because, again, that is helping us grow this ministry and saving more people. That's what we're into. And this is the ministry God has given us. I spent 37 years in a space of saving marriages, couples that had difficult marriages, in fact, awful marriages. You don't spend the kind of money to see me if your marriage is just sort of bad, but there was a narc involved. And so we were able to save, with God's help, many of those marriages. Okay, totally different space now. We are ending marriages. Of course, they're already over if you're married to a narc. We're getting you out. So it's a completely different space. Okay, folks are chiming in here. Oh, Tracy just bought your book, Enough is Enough, or my book, not her book, my book. That's my book. Anyway, so glad you did. In fact, we just found out recently the Enough is Enough book is doing very well. I think Moody Publishers is very happy. They should be. Great organization. You can buy it from Moody or Amazon. Of course, you can get it from us as well. But it's having an impact, and we praise God. Another book that's really doing well is my latest ebook, My Marriage Hurts. Am I living with a narcissist? This begins the entire process, selling quite a few of these. I think it's going to make a huge difference. God is graciously helping us with this. This begins the whole process, nailing down it, because you want to know for sure, am I living with a narcissist? Absolutely. Now, tonight, this is interactive. I'm going to be just interacting with your questions and your comments and just kind of going off the cuff like I do. And we'll start with Lori here. She's left him, exclamation marks, filed for divorce, good for you. Been 6 years together, 9. 2 children, little kids. He's not making this easy at all. He's trying to win me back. Laura, you know better. Bogus, fake repentance. He will promise you the moon. He'll go to church. He'll talk to the pastor. He'll cry buckets of tears. Liar. As the t-shirt says, dirt ball. Don't believe it. In fact, that's why I wrote the book, Escaping Your Narcissist. You read this, bad boy. I'm always telling my grandson, David, bad boy. That's a bad boy. Yeah, that's a stick. Let's get that bad boy. Anyway, this book will guide you through the divorce process. You don't believe a word that dirt ball says. Hold the line and get rid of him. So I'm glad you filed. Once you file, don't look back. I'm just telling you, don't look back. Many pastors and Christian counselors will tell you, urge you, oh, you have to give him one more chance. And I think he's really repentant. These people don't have the slightest idea. They want the miracle. They want the guy to change. Hey, wouldn't we all? We want the Hallmark Christmas movie at the end. The Christmas farm is saved. You know what? In the real world, it's a lousy Christmas farm, and the people are bad business people, and it fails. I'm telling you. I had these conversations with my wife, Sandy. She loves Hallmark. Anyway, no, it's a fake job. And you don't give him another chance unless God himself shows up with through the angel Gabriel in your bedroom saying, okay, he's changed. No. You need to be done with him and not look back. Because I've seen this a million times, and many of you have too. He's already had 5 million chances. Why give him one more? The narc loves to have one more chance, because if you take him back, you know what happens, ladies and men too? All your legitimacy. You've been telling people, your support team, he's abusive, he's terrible, the kids, everybody's on board. When you go back, all that is wiped out. And you're going to be left alone, because the narc will say, and this is the whole point, he's not changing anyway. He will turn on you in a matter of weeks. Maybe you might get a good month, because he knows now nobody will believe a word you say from now on. You're going to have to start all over. Now, you can do that. Don't do that. You file, stay with the filing. Lynn says, I wish I would have seen you before my divorce. Yeah, I know. It's okay. You got through. That's all right. Thank you for your words and your blunt honesty. I am known for my blunt honesty. You can blame my mother for that. Yeah. Well, God bless you. That's very sweet, Julie. Same to you. God has blessed our ministry, and we're so glad that we can help people escape. Now, I'm going to do one thing here, because I thought it was a great question. A lady she didn't want to be on the live stream, but she's emailed a question. I'm just going to answer it. And we're going to go probably until about 8:35. We're going to go boom, boom, boom. Anyway, but this is a question about divorce. I thought it was a good one. Let me answer this. She says, isn't it unsafe to forewarn your malignant narc spouse of a divorce? Key there is malignant narc. I mean, most of them are. This guy's a real monster. I feel bad to shock and awe him, but he has already siphoned money for years and refuses to show me other accounts. Well, of course, classic narcdom. And that's just the financial part of it, because it's an escape, not a normal parting of ways. Exactly. This isn't a normal divorce. Those are bad enough. 2 adults, let's work this out. You don't have that. The narc will try to destroy you. He'll leave you with 10 cents living in a pup tent if he can get away with it. And even 10 cents is too much for you. She says, I'm scared to stay and scared to leave. So in this case, how to tell the narc without telling him details. Okay, number one, I just mentioned this book, Get Escaping Your Narcissist. You're going to divorce a narc, secretly get this book. It's an ebook or a paperback on the site, daviddclarkephd.com. It covers in detail. You're not going to read another book like this, not from a Christian perspective, because most Christians don't want you to get divorced. I want you to get divorced from the narc, because God wants it. And this will give you the clue. But as much as you can, you do as much preparation work as you can. I'm talking to this lady and all those of you that are in this situation. Much as you can secretly, before he knows what's going on. Now, the narc's not stupid. He'll see your changes. He might know what's going on. You lie like a rug. These are Rahab lies in Joshua. She lied to protect the people of Israel, and God honored her in Hebrews. Anyway, in their Hall of Fame, you lie. I'm not leaving you. I'm not divorcing you. And you stick to that. But as an adult woman, you make an attempt, get as much of the files, the documents, the tax records as you can secretly. All right? You reach a point in the process where you're going to have to ask him. You're going to have to push. I need to know the financial records. Now, he'll smell a rat at that point, but whatever. This is not Saudi Arabia, okay, or the Sudan. You are able to, in America, find out the truth if you're married to this man. So, or even living with him for a while. But if you're married, certainly. Oh, here's the question. While I'm in the middle, what book to read after escaping your narcissist? Great question. Yes, I've got the book. You've got it covered from A to Z. Once you've read Escaping Your Narcissist, and you move through the divorce process, I didn't want a divorce. Now what? We got the whole situation covered here from the beginning of the process all the way through to the end. This is healing, getting a reset. Okay? So back to the divorce question, you get as much information as you can, and then you push. And when the narc refuses, and he will, at that point, of course, you've got your tough, blood-sucking attorney, not awful, but mean and tough, and you will file. And then you will find out the financial information. Okay, that's my answer to that. Let's see what else folks are saying here. Better, yeah, this is the good point. Get out while you are still alive. This narc got extremely violently abusive. Oh my goodness, he was beating her. Oh, for heaven's sake, yeah, I've seen this. These monsters. Now, the emotional toll will also kill you. And the spiritual toll was awful, affecting your soul. But the physical toll too. Some go that route. This lady got out. Praise God for that. Why is it so hard to forget about the narcissist? That's because of the trauma bond. I'm working on a book right now as we speak on the trauma bond. Now, the other approach I've got that does focus on this is the video series. If you've ever a video from codependent to independent, really gets at the trauma bond. And it may take months because the trauma bond has you in its grip. And that's why I still miss him. I still can't forget about him. Okay, you're still trauma bonded. Even when you divorce the dirt ball, guess what? If you haven't done your work, and most of you haven't, because you just got to survive and get out, you're still trauma bonded to him. He'll never stop the abuse. But when you break the trauma bond, and that video series can really help, it's the best $220 you're ever going to spend. I'm telling you, it's not cheap, but there's 21 videos that Phil Dugas and I put together, and it is powerful. It'll help you chip away at that trauma bond. The ebook I'm working on right now, which we'll talk more about, it's going to be coming out probably early in the new year, is going to really be focused on attacking that trauma bond. But that's what it is. It's normal, but it's not healthy, and we can get rid of it. He told me to hate, he told me to hate him today, but yesterday he told me how much he misses and loves me. Yeah, classic narc. They keep you going back and forth on the roller coaster. I love you. I want to make love to you. Here's some flowers. I made a meal for you. Here's a promise. I will pray with you. And then like a light switch, they'll turn on you like a snake. I hate your guts. You're fat. You're ugly. You're stupid. You're a terrible mother. I mean, on and on, it switches back. And so it creates the cognitive dissonance, which increases the trauma bond. And these narcs know exactly what they're doing. Believe me. And they love it. It's like you're a puppet on their string, and they love to jerk the levers. That's why we get rid of him. And that's why the preparation stage of leaving is so important. You've got to get strong enough. You've got to get your kids ready. You've got to get the finances ready. There's the legal process. Maybe you have to get a job. And plus, you have to be emotionally strong enough to deal with the whole divorce process. He'll make that a living hell. So you got to be strong. One of the reasons I wrote Escaping Your Narcissist, the book on the divorce process, and From Codependent to Independent, that video series will get you strong enough to deal with the backlash. Because once he knows you're done and you filed, get ready. He'll just confirm that you're doing the right thing, obviously, but it will still be hell on earth. Oh, shared the live with more than 10 friends. Good for you. I like that. Yeah. Okay, good. I questioned myself for months if I was the narcissist. Yeah, I know. This is classic narcdom. They will turn it on you. Everything's opposite. You see this in the political world too. I'm not going to get political, but everything's opposite world. And for the narc, I'm not the narc, you're the narc. And you'll bring up actual examples of your narcissism. Well, it's ridiculous. You're the codependent. Okay, fine. He's the narcissist. Don't buy that. It's a big fat lie from the pit of hell. Oh, yeah. Made the mistake of asking for a guardian ad litem to help with parenting time I was losing out on. Oh, yeah. The narc X worked his magic and had the GAL fooled. Oh, I've heard this 1,000,001 times. Listen to me. When you have a narc, you have a normal husband and there's a divorce going on, bring on the GALs. Who cares? This is not the case for you. You have a narc? No. They'll fool the GAL 99% of the time. If you can avoid doing that, don't have one. Sometimes you're forced into it legally. The court system, it's ordered, but don't. And these GALs have tremendous power in court. Could be a 90-year-old lady, but she knows everybody. She's doing it, and the judge will believe her, what comes out of her dumb mouth. And the narc has won her over. Avoid the GALs if you can. Oh, this one narc bragged about her. She was the greatest mother ever. Almost embarrassing. Now she's the worst. Chrissy's the worst. You know you are. Worst mother that there ever was. Worst housekeeper. Yeah, I'm convinced it's a demon. Oh, Chrissy, you hit the nail on the narc head. I'm working. In fact, the next live stream, look forward to this. It's going to be probably in October, mid to late October. We're going to do a live stream, and it's going to be focused on the narc not being a Christian. And along with, I'm developing the material right now. You can tell I'm a workaholic. I'm doing a new ebook, and I'm also working on my other stuff. But anyway, it's going to be powerful. Demons are involved. I'll tell you right now, a dyed-in-the-wool narc is not a Christian, doesn't know Jesus, and that opens them up to demonic activity. Satan's running the narc. He's running the show. So when Chrissy says that, yeah, I believe it. Absolutely, I do. That's why the evil comes out of their pores. You can see it in their eyes, dead, black. And the horrible things they say and do. What other explanation is there? Yeah, demonic activity is real. Absolutely. And we'll be dealing with that in a live stream. It's going to be powerful, I think. In fact, we did a very brief response video. What was that, Phil? TikTok or Instagram? Everywhere. And you may have seen it. We had a ton of views, hundreds of thousands of views about we responding. I think the question was, can the narc be a Christian? The answer is no, 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 1,000 times no. So I'll be talking about that. Now, could the narc become a Christian? Could he actually come to Jesus? Well, of course, salvation's open to all. Is that going to happen? No, it's not going to happen. I'll explain why in the live stream. Okay, good question here, Tracy. I don't know how to start over from scratch after 23 years, so I hear you. It's brutally hard. You get beaten up in the marriage, and then when you get out, that's an awful process, and then the rebuilding. But I'm telling you, you're going to be able to do it. You're free from the narc. Not living with the narc is huge, Tracy. And all those of you that have been through this, you need to maintain your support group. And again, that's why I wrote this book. It's for you, Tracy. Healing in the Aftermath. Self-guided study. You might need a therapist, you might not, but this will guide you through step by step. It's a manual of change and healing and trauma recovery, breaking the trauma bond. This is also gets at the trauma bond. You're going to be able to rebuild. It's exhausting. It seems impossible. You're going to be able to do it. I'm just telling you. Not going to be easy, of course. Oh, this is good. My narc is a minister. Oh, they're the worst. He has so many people fooled. Oh, man alive. You know what? He is not fooling you, and he's not fooling God. And that's the problem for the narc. There'll be a special place in hell, I'm just telling you, for people like that are pretending to serve the Lord, even as a pastor, and they are as narc can be. Oh, yeah. But you'll lose the PR battle because he's a pastor. And these are world-class actors, and they can pretend to be a Christian. And the weird thing is they can actually do good things for the Lord, baptisms, leading people to Jesus, and their hearts are dark and they're black. Absolutely. And you don't waste any time trying to convince other people that your narc is a narc and he's awful. You don't have the energy for that. Your key support team, your family and friends and the people close to you, hey, that's all you got. You'll rebuild and move on because other people are not going to believe you. He's already got them convinced. Yeah, one who gives Bible studies and meets women that way. Oh, exactly. There isn't a better vocation. If you're looking to meet women and engage in adultery, and I'm just telling you this, other than being a pastor. Now, most pastors, of course, would never do this. Obviously, they're godly men and women. But there are those that want to do that. Oh, yeah. What a way to get inside of a woman's heart and fool her and draw her in. And I've seen it, and it is ugly. 2 Timothy 3:1-6 covers this. The awful traits of a narc, and then the Bible talks about worming their way into women's hearts. Oh, yeah, it happens. Yep. Here's a mother-in-law that uses religion to hide her evilness. Oh, yeah, they'll hide behind a cloak of religion. I love Jesus. You know what? You miserable mother-in-law, you dirtball, you have no idea who Jesus is. It's all for show. They'll read their Bible. It's for show. It's not in their heart. How common is severe PTSD after narcissistic abuse? Very common. Even after separation, I'm really struggling with that now. Nightmares, flashes while awake, constantly scared. Deborah, absolutely normal. In fact, I would say 99%, if not 100%, of those who've lived with a narc for any length of time have PTSD. And I would even say it's severe. The traumas never stop coming. In basic PTSD, there was a traumatic event. There's 2 traumatic events. Awful enough. Like wartime, or severe illness or some kind of, with a narc, it can be worse because it never, ever stops. The good news is you can absolutely heal and recover. And that's what God wants for you. Not semi-recover or you'll always carry the scars. No, people that talk like that are clueless. I wouldn't be a psychologist if all I could offer people was, you know what? Well, you'll survive. You'll always be traumatized. No, 100% restored. Listen to me. It's possible. Hard work. That's why I wrote, I didn't want a divorce. Now what? You can heal. from the traumas. Absolutely you can. This guy's cheating since 2020. Yeah, maybe before that too. Saying I'm paranoid. Exactly. You're crazy. So many things going on making me crazy. Yeah, you know what? He's lying his head off. And the bad news is, I'll tell ladies, you will only know the tip of the iceberg of his sin, especially in the sexual area. And you don't want to know it all, frankly. What God will do is he will reveal what you need to know. All right. But unlike in a normal marriage, if there's one incidence of infidelity or adultery, hideous enough, you can recover from that. I hope hundreds of couples do that. This isn't the case. It's multiple. Most narcs are always on the lookout for women. Not just porn, that's usually part of it, but all kinds of women, all kinds of ages, and they'll lie their heads off and say you're crazy. And even when you catch them, it's still your fault. Yeah, get away from this dirtball. Yeah, this lady's identifying with Deborah, constantly thinking something will go wrong. I wake up with anxiety. Absolutely normal. Absolutely. It will pass. Now you have to do the work. Time alone will not heal that kind of trauma. You've got to hit it and hit it hard and work through the steps. Again, that's why I wrote this book, because of the trauma after divorce. You're going to work it through, you're going to heal, and life's going to get a whole lot better, but it does take time. The system has been supercharged, energized, traumatized. And it's like when something really scary happened and you're still shaking for a few minutes afterwards. Okay, this is far worse than that. You're shaking for months because of all the trauma. And even when you're released from the marriage and you've divorced the dirtball, it's still going to happen. Okay, looking over here at these things. Yeah, female narcs looking for successful men. Oh yeah, they want a free ride. Your basic good-hearted woman who loves the Lord isn't looking for some guy that makes a fortune. You know, the blonde thought she was marrying a guy that would be like super successful. Not really. We got married, we had nothing. I loved her, and I still do. She's awesome. If you met the blonde, you'd be just blown away. She's beautiful. She's smart. Well, she married me anyway, and she's a wonderful mother and grandma. Oh my, cook. Oh, for heaven's sake, we had eggs Benedict the other night. Oh, come on! I'm so spoiled. My mother spoiled me. Now Sandy does. But anyway, she's a wonderful person. Let's see. I forget what I was talking about. Anyway, but I talk about Sandy, I lose my mind. She's wonderful. Yeah, it's a month. Can't eat, shake all the time. She's lost 15 pounds in 4 weeks. Oh, Reba, I know what you're talking about. It's the best weight program the world's ever known. The narc weight program. Of course, not in a good way, because you're nauseous and you don't feel like eating. And of course, you're depressed and you're traumatized. Yeah, it's an effort to make a meal and even to eat. The food you can't even taste the food. That's the trauma bond that you're still in, and you're going to be able to break it. All that's normal. It's going to pass as you do the work. Rosina says, yeah, the silent treatment does the most damage. Yeah, it's one of the worst things they do. Yeah. She made the mistake of telling you that it was torture. Yeah. And of course, once they hear that, then they'll use it against you. As part of my program, Enough is Enough covers this to a degree. Escaping Your Narcissist does to a degree. From Codependent to Independent, the video series I mentioned absolutely is focused on this, how to deal with all the ways the narc abuses you. And you're going to get tough enough. Other than in front of the kids, you're going to be just shutting him off, and you're going to be speaking up to be assertive in your own way so you have your voice, but he's not going to be able to get at you. And you won't admit that he's hurting you at all. It'll drive the narc crazy because he loves to torture you. That's the evil part of him. That's the satanic part. What kind of a person loves to have a person that they're supposed to love tortured and falling apart and thinking they're crazy? It's entertainment for the narc, and it always will be. He doesn't care if you die. Then he can be the martyr and show up at the funeral and everybody fawn on him. He'll be hitting on chicks at your funeral. I am telling you, that's the kind of guy we're talking about. Is that a Christian? No, 100 million times no. Anyway, I get carried away. But it's the truth. I've seen it, and it's ugly. Yeah, same mistake. Again, and ladies, and men too, don't worry about the mistakes you've made. Look, nobody's perfect. When you're married to a narc, you say things you shouldn't. You're a normal person. You'll say, that's hurting me, or here's a need you can meet, or I'll try to love you and maybe you can respond. None of that stuff works. It's okay. Once you figure it out, my materials can help you. You're going to be able to move past that and be healthy and be fine. Oh, look at bring the blonde on your show so we can meet her. I really should. I'm going to have to work on the blonde. She hates the limelight. As you can tell, so do I. I'm a shy person. I'm retiring. I barely talk. I'm like the ham. Sandy's the power behind the throne. She handles everything. She's brilliant. She can do anything. You name it, she can do it. She can build a house. She just doesn't like, the limelight or to be up on stage. I used to do a lot of speaking, and she would hate it when I'd call her out in the audience anyway. But yeah, so we may get her on like at the beginning of a live stream so you can just see her, and I can ask her, Sandy, just tell these people just how great I am. This might take our entire time. I won't do that. Okay. She would never go for that. She's edgy too. She is not I wouldn't say she's the sweetheart of the rodeo. She's wonderful, but she's edgy. Oh yeah, I get away with nothing. What is what I need? Is going no contact the only way to stop narcissistic abuse? Well, it's one of the ways. Yeah. If you're away from him, absolutely. You don't respond to anything that dirtball says. You're never going to talk to him in person. Once you're separated, you're never going to have a regular phone call with him, any kind of FaceTime ever. You're going to have an app, text, email, whatever, and you're only going to deal with him on specific things you have to deal with him on. If you have kids, okay, kids, logistics, taxes, whatever, that's it. Because they want the interaction. They want the back and forth. Even when you're divorced, the narc still wants to have a connection to you. He still wants to have impact on you. And he'll take any reaction at all. Good, bad, indifferent. No, you don't have to do that anymore. Don't do it. He'll try everything he can to get you to contact him. Don't do it. Move him on to somebody else. Does gray rock work when you're planning the escape plan? Boy, good question. You have to be clever about this. I mean, there'll be a certain amount of gray rocking. You don't want to carry that too far, because what we're trying to do for the first part of the escape process, we're trying to keep it a secret. So in a sense, you're kind of bumping along and you're doing some of the usual things. Now you'll stop having sex with him because it makes your skin crawl. What's going to happen is you're going to develop some kind of a female problem that the doctors just can't identify. I'm just telling you, whatever the heck works. Can't do it, too painful, whatever. But in other areas, you'll act like things are kind of status quo. Now, as you get into the process, you'll be more assertive, you'll be edgy, you'll be speaking up, and he won't like that. All right. But you're not going to gray rock like all the time. All right. It's kind of a mix. Yeah, this is good. Jan says they don't want to admit that you are not with him. That means loss of control for them. Exactly. They still want that control. They still want to know that they matter. Nothing worse for a narc than not mattering. That's why the brick wall, the no contact, the I don't care if you live or die, I don't care what you're doing, date every woman in town, sleep with every skank you can get your hands on. You're not saying this, but you're thinking, I don't care. Don't care. Doesn't make any difference to me. And once you've broken the trauma bond, you're going to be able to do that. Oh, it'll drive him nuts, but he'll find other supply. Don't worry. Dr. Narc, that's me. I finally kicked him out of the house after 27 years. Good. I'm traumatized. Yes, you are. That's a strong move, and it's the right move. Keep him out. A lot of times you have to fake it until you make it. You're not healthy yet, and this lady knows that. She's traumatized. She's struggling. This now, because he's out of the house, will give you some peace. Go no contact. Have as little contact with him as possible. Sometimes you can even have a family member, your dad, a brother. Not go and beat him up. That would be tempting. But as a go-between, a sister-in-law, somebody you trust, that will be a go-between to handle matters. Like you've lost your voice or something. They can handle him. This is your time to heal and get strong and get rid of him. And she's got to go through the divorce process. Yeah, I'm telling you, this book is why I wrote it. Escaping Your Narcissist. Get that book for the divorce process. It's okay to be traumatized. Of course you are. You won't stay that way. You'll get through. And this is why I'm working on this ebook right now on the trauma bond, breaking your trauma bond. And righteous anger is so important. I'm spending a number of chapters on that. The Christian church and the Christian community hates anger. They think any kind of anger is wrong. They're absolutely wrong. God is angry throughout Scripture. Jesus had times of serious rage. All righteous, of course, and godly. So will yours be. When someone's destroying you, But as a Christian woman, you know as well as I do, the church teaches you it's okay for a man to get angry. That's fine. Business world, yeah, that's the way it is. Not for a Christian woman. You got to be nice. You got to be sweet. You got to be passive. You got to submit. That's not the Bible I'm reading. You check out the Proverbs 31 woman who's almost too good to believe. This was a strong woman. There are many strong women in Scripture that spoke their minds. Look at Sarah, Abraham's wife. Oh, edgy, tough, made her own mistakes, but she spoke up. That's what God wants you to be. Tiffany has a hard time seeing him as a narc. Okay, I get it. He's actually so great with the kids and trying very hard to get back with me. Can a narc be a great dad? No, a million times no. Tiffany, listen to me. He's playing the part. Those kids mean nothing to him. Now, they're not married to him. It's just for show. He might put that together for years. Baloney. Listen to me. When you treat their mom like a piece of garbage in the road that's in the gutter, that is the worst thing possible for those kids. That is a bad dad. It's worse than a bad dad. He's abusive. That's truth. But he's already getting into your head, Tiffany. And these ladies and other guys here can help you. He's such a great dad, loves the kids. Maybe he is okay. Maybe I need to take him back. No, he will turn on you. Don't buy it. I've got a whole section on escaping your narc on don't waver once you're out. Do not. He's working his magic. Don't buy it. Oh, I like this. Lori had to have her last name changed. I want nothing to do with him. Perfect. He can have that last name back. You know it. That dirtball last name. Oh, scum of the earth. Whatever his last name is. You're done with that last name. You go down to the courthouse and you change your name. As soon as you legally can, boom. You make it Sunflower. Whatever. You can choose the name you want because now you're in control of your life. You're not going to carry his name. Your kids will get over it. People worry about the moms, worry about the kids. Oh, people have different names all the time. Doesn't make any difference. I've had some girls and boys as they get into adulthood. Of course, the girls may marry and change their name, but even boys of narcs realize what their dad's like, and they'll change their last name. Thing of beauty. Don't have to, but it's certainly fine to do that. But if you're the ex-wife, oh, absolutely. Here's a great question. Dr. Narc, I am not religious. Are these books for me? Absolutely, they're for you. Now, I speak the truth about Jesus. The most important thing about me is I'm a follower of Jesus. You need to know that. And the gospel and the biblical truth is all the way through these books. I'm not going to cram it down your throat. I'm not. I'm just going to present the truth. But there's so many practical things. Yeah, that's not going to be a problem. Now, I hope, having said that, I just hope and pray you come to Jesus. Have an open mind. But yeah, I wouldn't let that throw me off. All through my career, I've dealt with all kinds of people, and different from atheists to people that believed in God that didn't follow Jesus. That's not a problem. It won't bother me at all, and I don't think it'll bother you either, because it isn't like crammed down your throat. Yeah, this lady says generally, absolutely no, they won't change. Absolutely. The Christian community wants you to believe, and of course, you want to believe inside that somehow they'll change. And they can act like they've changed. And it seems incredibly sincere. They are brilliant at the presentation. And they can keep it up for a while, not forever. I'm telling you, when you hold the line and you say, no, you're not mean. It's simply, well, you can be mean if you want. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you're the next Billy Graham. I'm done with you. This marriage is over. We're going to get divorced. If you hold that line. Now, the narc loves the challenge. What if I can get her back? What if I can fool her, turn her around, and have her take me back? Suspend the divorce or even remarry. I've had some ladies make the mistake of remarrying because he knows, he's pulled it off. He gets the Oscar and he ruins your life because he's wiped out your entire support team. Your kids will look at you and go, really, Mom? All respect gone. Love follows. They won't trust you again. Or it'll take a while. Don't do it. If you've done that, okay, don't regret it. Simply get back on track. Build a new support team and get out. Yeah, this lady needs to get angry. Very hard to get angry and sustain it when you're a Christian woman and you're taught to be nice and sweet. There's a time for anger, righteous anger, and this is it. When you're married to a narc, that's it. And you're not going to, people think they're going to lose control. I'll be bouncing off the walls and I'll be out of control. No, you won't be. That's him. It'll be a righteous, healthy anger. And when you're through with them and you're out, you'll work it. That can be angry all the time anyway, but you're going to clean it out and move on. What if he has changed for a little over a year now and he's asking me to move back in? Okay, that's a judgment call. That's a long time, but listen to me biblically. And this is before the Lord, and the Bible teaches this. These exceptions for divorce. You can give him another chance, but you don't have to. Even if he's actually repented and actually changed. There's nowhere in the Bible you'll see in those divorce verses that you have to take him back. He's committed adultery. Jesus says, but if he repents, you have to take him back. Doesn't say that. It simply says adultery is a reason for divorce. Period. End of statement. And the problem is if you have a narcissist, they don't truly change. I've seen narcs do it for a year. So listen to me. Chronic emotional abuse, same thing. Abandoned by the unbeliever. Okay, you can divorce him and forgive him and never take him back. That's okay to do. Biblically, solid ground. You need to make as sure of this as you possibly can. What has he done to change? Is it all talk? He's got to prove this in a million different ways that he's absolutely changed. And even then, hard to trust. Hard to trust. Yeah, this is classic. Mine says I don't forgive him because I'm not willing to reconcile. After 20 years of abuse and infidelity, exactly. Forgiveness has nothing to do with reconciliation. Nothing. You're going to forgive him. Now, hear this. You're not going to forgive him until you have divorced him and you are out and you're away from him. Then privately, you work through the issues and forgive him. He'll never know. You'll never go near him with any words of forgiveness, but you'll forgive him. But reconciliation, absolutely not. And even the church will support this dumb narc because the church also believes that many pastors I've come across, straight face. They're reading the same Bible I am. The Bible doesn't teach that. It does not. Somehow they put reconciliation first, not forgiveness. And they tie the two together. Bogus. No. You'll forgive. Just like if some horrible person attacked you and there was a terrible scene and somebody that was not a part of your family, eventually, biblically, you'd work through all the issues and you'd forgive that person. It may take years, but you're not going to reconcile with the guy that burned your house down or abused one of your kids. Well, of course not. That's not biblical. Okay, we're almost done. I'm going to take one more and then we're going to call it a night. Thank you so much for your input. Get ready for our next live stream, which will be in October, and that's going to be focused on the narc is not a Christian. I'm just going to lay that out. I think it's going to be powerful. It's going to be controversial, but it's going to be solidly biblical, like everything I try to do is. Yeah. Here's a good one. We're like a book on how to handle flying monkeys. Yeah. Even her mother's on the side of the narc. Oh, for heaven's sake. Yeah. I've done some work on that. In fact, that's going to be in this new ebook. And to a degree, it's even in Escaping Your Narcissist. They will come out of the woodwork, swarming you, even your own family. He's changed. He's different. Give him a chance. Think of the kids. These people are boneheads, and they're actually abusive themselves, even if they're clueless. Yeah, that's a good point. Okay. Now, again, let me mention before I forget, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, do that. This is great for our ministry, and I think great for all the folks who are trying to help. Subscribe to TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. All those things are very important to us. And like this live stream that will help us help more people. Thank you so much for being with us. We're going to call it a night, and then look forward to this next live stream coming up in probably mid-October. I'm thinking we'll do it on the fact that the narc is not a Christian. I'm going to make an ironclad case for that. I think you'll like it.